I double honors to the apostles of GMS, honors you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. I just wanted to go through a few scriptures today, namely in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, and the first verse on there. Without much further ado, I'm going to get straight into it. So, it says there, we'll be unto Babylon, right, and Asia, and we'll be unto Egypt and Syria. It says, gird up yourselves with sackcloth, right, and hair, all right, bewail your children, and be sorry for your destruction is at hand. And that's the time we're in right now. We're in the time of the great destruction that the Most High has prescribed for you so-called Edomites, which are the so-called white people, man. You Edomites, all right? You're known as Edomites within the scriptures, right? And you've called yourselves the so-called white people in this day and age, and the Most High is preparing your destruction, all right? Not just preparing your destruction, that's the wrong way to put it, because your destruction, as we're going to see in the scriptures, has already been written, it's already been prescribed. The Most High is playing it out, all right? And day by day, minute by minute, man, all right? Your destruction, comes closer and closer, man, all right? Now I'm going to touch on, I didn't plan to go into this scripture, but I'm going to touch on this one. This is going to be in the book of Isaiah, all right, the 47th chapter. And I'm going to read it verbatim. I'm not going to break it all down and everything, as in go into the different precepts. I break it down as I go, but I won't go into different precepts that I've got prepared there. I could do that in another lesson or something. So this is Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne or door of the Chaldeans. And Babylon, we know, is the land of confusion. It's Babel, right, meaning confusion, and land, or lon, meaning land confusion, right? It says, thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. It says, take the millstone and grind the mill, and cover the locks, make bare the legs, which is the same context that you was reading here in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. All right, make bare the legs, right, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. So, the Most High through the Spirit, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the nakedness, the shame of America is being revealed, man. All right, for the elders being out there, teaching the younger men to do likewise, to be out there in the streets, man, preaching this world, telling these people they're the devil, man. Right? Because when you speak about the salvation that's prescribed unto the elect in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, right? What does it say, man? Right, they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, man, saying, "This is he," right? Who we had sometimes in derision. And how are they gonna have us in derision if we're if you're at home, you're putting your little comments here and there on whatever video is being put up, man. That doesn't go tie in with that precept, man. How that ties in is when you're out there, man, and they be talking shit and all of that, man. Right? Because that's when you go into the book, the scripture says, man, we have showed you our faith through our works, man. You can't say you got faith and you're sitting and relaxing and all of that. All right. So getting back onto the point, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I'll take vengeance, and I'll not meet these as a man. So, like it says here in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, gird up yourselves with sackcloth and hair, bewail your children, for your destructions draweth nigh, right? It says the sword is sent upon, sorry, not the same context, but I meant like, we're getting closer to that destruction, man. In Isaiah the 47th chapter, man, it's showing you that, all of that pride that you had, man. First, your shame is gonna be shown, all right? You're gonna be revealed. Then you're gonna have to be in a state of being ashamed, man. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to be in a state of bewailing, man. Right? The glory days is done, man. All right? So now you're going to go into a state of your shame being uncovered, like it says in Isaiah, the 47th chapter. All right, pretty much after that, man, you're going to have to humble yourself right down. But you're not going to do that because the Most High is going to have to humble you down, man. All right, namely you Edomites. So it says here in the 3rd verse, a sword is set upon you, Right, and who may it be that may turn it back? Right, I'm gonna jump to Isaiah the 34th chapter and the 5th verse. Right, this is Isaiah 34 and 5. Alright. Isaiah 34 and 5, it says, For my sword, right, shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon all my people, upon the people of my judgment. Alright. So the Most High's sword, how is it going to be bathed in heaven? Namely, it's going to be by those ICBMs, man. Those ICBMs is going to be in the sky, right? And they're going to drop down on Idumea, on all of these different Edomite continents, where all across the board, man. All in these different countries, whether it be the American Edomite, whether it be the French Edomite, the English Edomite, the German Edomite, the Italian, whatever, man. All right, saving out to the Most High is going to have mercy upon the elect. All right, I'm going to read that again. It says, For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. All right, it shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon all the people of my curse to judgment. All right, so the Most High is going to be judging you people. He's going to be executing. He's going to be executing the judgment upon the prescribed unto you people. Man. And it says, this is back in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, on the 4th verse. And it says, a fire is set among them, and we may quench it. All right, jumping again. This is Job the 24, because he says a fire, right? This is Job 20 and 24. It's Job 20 and 24. It says, He shall flee from the iron weapon, right? A bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, it cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of the galls. All right, terrors are upon him. And if you have a pictorial mind, a mind of thinking in pictures, all right, what you should be thinking about there is about that sword being drawn, coming out of the body. That's indicative. That's synonymous with a nuclear missile, man. When it comes out of his body, man. All right, and it says, it is drawn, it cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword, right? Because it says because it's a sword, man. A sword is used for to execute judgment. All right, the glittering sword cometh out of the galls. Terrors are upon him. All darkness is hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him, right? And it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacles. And that's what a nuclear fire is, man. It's a fire not blown. You don't strike a match for a nuclear fire, man. It's just a perpetual blaze, man, from them protons and neutrons, man. Breaking down essentially, right? Because you get loss of energy when you break those molecules apart on an atomic scale, man. You break the nucleus up in uranium. You split it, man. A lot of energy is released, and that's what that fire. That's what a fire is. A fire is a release of energy. Except when you're burning like a log of wood or something, man. You're breaking it down on like a molecular level, right? So you get some energy. You get the energy that it took to put those molecules together. You get it out when you burn it. But when it comes to a nuclear fire, man, you're breaking it down on an atomic scale. You get so much more energy out of that, man. And that's what's going to burn this kingdom down, man. Right? It says, all darkness is hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. And shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacles. And it says, heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath, in the day of the Most High's wrath. Right? It says, this is the portion of the wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed to him by Yahweh. Right, so getting back into 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, right, and this is the 5th verse now. It says, plagues are sent unto you, right, and what is he that may drive them away? Right, and 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, talks about them plagues that's going to come upon you, man, death, famine, and destruction. It says, may any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it had begun to burn. It says, may one turn away the arrow that is shot from a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth plagues, and who is he that may drive them away? It says, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? he shall cast lightning, and who shall not fear? He says he shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid. He says the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. Right. So it's the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. Right. The earth, the sea ariseth up with waves from deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also. It says before the Lord, before his glory, before the glory of his power. All right. Now we'll jump to Isaiah the 55th chapter and the 11th verse real quick. All right, because it speaks about the Most High's judgment coming forth, man. Who's going to be able to stop it? So this is Isaiah 55 and 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in that where I sent it. And that's the same thing he said it saying here when he's talking about a strong archer, yeah, and you can't stop that strong archer and all of that, man. That's the same thing he's talking about here. It's the word, and the word of the Lord's been described that his soul's going to be bathed in Idumea, man. He's going to destroy you Edomites, man. Right? No matter how proud you are, or whatever, man, it's just going to destroy you, man. All right? So we'll start wrapping it up. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Right? His arrows that shooteth are sharp, and he shall not miss when they begin to be shot in the ends of the world. All right? It says, behold, the plagues are sent, and they shall not return again until they come upon the earth. It says, the fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. It says, like as an arrow which is shot from a mighty archer returneth not backwards. All right, so shall the plagues be sent upon the earth and not return. When you go read the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter as well, right? The whole chapter is speaking about the destruction, man. Right? It says the earth is going to reel to and fro, right? Talks about the earth being utterly consumed, man. Right? The heavens again is going to reveal Esau's iniquity, because you're going to look in the sky from these different countries, man. You're going to look, man, and say, damn, that's the smoke of America burning, man. Right? Like it says in Revelations, the 18th chapter, man. Alas, you know, get it real quick. All right? It says, trying to find the exact quote I just referenced there. Right. There we go. It says second Revelations 18 and 16. It says, and saying, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked in gold and precious stones, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And so in 1 hour you're going to be destroyed, man. Alright? It says here, this is the 17th verse. It says, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, right? Who will deliver me in those days? Alright? It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, right? The beginning of famine, great death, the beginning of wars. And that's the time we're in, man. Beginning of famines, great war, and great death, man. Right? All kind of people, you know, they're saying some ridiculous number about people dying or whatever conflicts that Esau's playing out in the world right now, man. Alright? It says the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? It says, behold, famine and plague and tribulations and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Right? It says, but all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, or nor away from their nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right? So all of this is going to happen, but still you Edomites, proud as hell, and you niggas as well that follow after Esau's ways, man. pretty much, you know, like I said, it's just a quick one. With the scriptures and that, you know, Lord's will, you brothers finally edifying and all of that. Right, double honors to the apostles of GMS. Honest, you brothers will be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.